Welcome back, everyone. This is the VG Pierce. I'll be coming at you with some 2018 Blood Bowl 2 World Cup action, as we are going to see more second round, and it will be the top 32 trying to make it into the round of 16, the money round. $250 at least for the winner of the second round match, so pretty good stuff. Gonna get paid off right away, but of course, the eyes on the real prize, the championship match. Not only going to be $3,000 with the nice little gaming PC, but also the glory, $1,500 for second place, $1,000 apiece for third and fourth. All brought to you by Aces, Republic of Gamers. So now we are going to see some more Blood Bowl here, and of course, the marquee matchup. At least I feel like it's the marquee matchup of the week. Mr. Lights taking on TheSage. Both coaches, okay, sure, they might be playing very conservative, but both of them quite calculated in their ways. And I have to say, Mr. Light very strong, and as well as TheSage. So we'll see who will match the battle of the minds. Oh yes. And here we go. In my preliminary prediction, though, I believe I said I liked Mr. Light. And I did. His Dwarven team taking on the Undead team here of TheSage. Of course, the nice thing about TheSage's Undead team, loads of zombies and a skeleton for the boot. TheSage, Odd Gravings, the Undead team taking on Mr. Light's Blood Bowl Quebec crew, the Dwarven team. And now the coin toss. In the 2016 Blood Bowl 2 World Cup, we saw Mr. Light going into the round of 8. Will he be able to match that, or at least do a lot better? We'll see. He'll have to get through a tough pairing in this round 2. TheSage, definitely not a slouch, plays plenty of Blood Bowl, and not only that, does some teaching lessons I hear. But of course, here just a quick glance at these skills. The block mummy. That was what was chosen for TheSage in this, and Odd Gravings will opt to kick the ball away to the Dwarven team. I guess I can't blame him here. Play with my full defense and also put the pressure here on the Dwarves to do something with it. Of course, the Dwarven team wanting to get more guard for his guys. I can't blame him here. So we'll take an extra guard on one of those Longbeards. And that was what the Dwarven team did for his skill. Didn't really opt to use the doubles whatsoever. But there's a change of weather to nice, and that didn't really matter because it was kind of already a fairly good weather. I mean, I think it was very sunny, but I don't think the Dwarven team was going to pass anytime soon. But we'll definitely take the nice Blood Bowl weather. Perfect Blood Bowl weather, in fact. What was my take on the low ghouls build on TheSage? Risky. I mean, it almost costed him the first game, and if I was the Dwarven team, I would definitely look to that last match and just say, hey, I'm gonna go and try to concentrate on these ghouls. And as you can see there from TheSage, he's actually gonna sit the ghoul with the sure hands and make it to where he's not a target whatsoever. But of course, you're now having an extra zombie on the pitch instead of having two ghouls on the pitch like you normally do for an undead team, and may actually reduce his chances for the turnaround play because the Dwarven team can have his shot. He can just drive up the pitch, don't have to worry too much about handoff plays, ghouls in the backfield wandering around, and then maybe a play to him by the end if he loses the ball. So the undead team's turnabout game. Turnabout fair game. The turnabout, if the ball comes out, won't necessarily be there, and that's the thing about playing with just two ghouls for the undead team. It's like they are the pieces that do not gain the regeneration, and if they do get injured, it's not like you can have an APO that can get them out of the KO status or even worse, injury. They're just plain injured. So I mean, it's definitely risky. I'll tell you that much. And again, that's something that was a little bit unexpected coming out from TheSage, where you would have thought that, well, yeah, he loaded up on the zombies, but in this high of a level, you better believe that these guys are going to go after the weak point, and the big glaring weak point is going to be their ghouls here in the backfield. So definitely a good point there, Tree Punch, and that's my thoughts on it. It's risky. And of course, like I said, in the first round, if you saw that game against the Khemri team even, really almost costed him the game. Actually ended up having to take the white to do the ball carrying because he basically ran out of agility 3 players by the end. But the merits are there. I mean, the merits are definitely there for having a high zombie number on your side. You're not afraid of teams like the Dwarves here. So what if they get the hits in? So what if they get the injuries? Not a big deal. You don't need to worry about regeneration to come through or not. And if it does, then even better. And that actually was what kind of saved them against the Khemri team. Sure, their ghouls got injured, but in the end, the number of zombies on the pitch kept the numbers about even and made it to where the Khemri just could not lower the numbers on the pitch and make it to where it was an easier offensive series for him to make the touchdown by the end. So the number of zombies ended up helping him, but the lack of ghouls almost tanked his game. Almost. Should he have put some offensive skills on the whites to compensate? I don't think so, because now you're just kind of admitting you were wrong. that's the thing, right? It's like, do I put, dodge on my whites? Now should I put, like stuff like that to help them out so that maybe they'll be viable ball carriers? But it's just like, now you're saying, okay, you gave your ghoul sure hands and now suddenly you're going to start developing white. Unfortunately, we just don't have that type of progression here. You just get one skill after each round. That's it. And that's if you make it through the single elimination. And obviously, with each passing skill, with each round, it definitely becomes more and more critical, and more thought has to be put into what you're going to do with them. Yep, and we're all men here, right? I mean, I don't know that many women that play it. I mean, I wouldn't say we're all men, but I mean, it's just we're a lot of guys here, and I tell you what, guys just don't like admitting that they did something wrong. I'll tell you that much. But yeah, one of those things where, I mean, even if you didn't admit to it, it's just gonna be one of those things where, all right, you're not going to spend all your skills for a white for all the passing skills or dodge skill or whatnot for a ball carrying. You're going to continue to just get your ghoul up whenever need be. Get these bashes out for these mummies. I do like that he took block for the mummy so that he won't get 1 to 9 and he'll still be able to lead with these mummy blitzes or even blocks. And there you go. Big KO coming out on the Longbeard. Got Sirate. Look at that. I actually know him. And that's going to be really nice. It's going to be the guard Longbeard as well. So a bit of a key piece for the Dwarven team to hold up against the undead bashings, the onslaught coming out from both of those mummies. And I can see there, this mummy holding up the Longbeard, this one taking him down. So pretty much going to be a tag team event from the mummy. Yeah, the Sage wins the whole thing. Suddenly new meta. 2 ghouls, guys. It works. Yes, indeed. I'm going to be holding that skeleton, actually wanting to keep that skeleton there so that he can keep the fouls up. So that's the nice thing here for the undead team. Picking that skeleton up, the reason why it's a good foul piece is the 5 MA can get to some places that a level 1 zombie wouldn't normally be able to get to, and really good fouling piece so that, sure, you can't start this game off with a bribe, but since the skeletons and the zombies so cheap, you get a number of them like this and you're able to get lots of fouls on. But armor 9 team for the undead team, not necessarily one that he wanted to meet today. Just like how he played against the Khemri team, 2 teams in which TheSage really didn't want to see. He really wanted to see humans or even maybe the Wood Elf team so that he can get those bashes off. He can take advantage of the high number of team players he has on the bench. Get those fouls out from the skeleton. Heck, maybe even get a foul out by 1 or 2 of the zombies extra. Who cares, right? But one of those games in which the undead team not necessarily get to use his huge numbers to come in to play. And as we have seen, Wood Elf team builds pretty much only can build with 11 players. And as someone has pointed out previously, that just means that the Wood Elf team, sure they can play aggressively, but just how aggressive can they do it with just 11 players max on the pitch? I don't know. I suppose you can go with 12 if you skip out on the tree. Dodge away. And there we go. Going to be able to get the ghoul from danger. And there you go, dwarfs. They're not slouches here. Mr. Light, he recognizes. Let's kill a ghoul, guys. But so far, no, he's just gonna try to get this blitz off and maybe reposition himself a little bit later on. But we'll move in, and the runner, oh, it's gonna actually get the score. Look at that. So Mr. Light, not gonna mess around. We'll try for the touchdown. Gonna be able to get it. Wow, 1-0 there. Mr. Light scores it kinda early there, but I do believe this might have been in Mr. Light's plan here. Get those undead teams, and maybe we'll see a couple of ghouls now, because on the offensive series you want to have as many of those agility 3 guys out as quite possible to move the ball around with a little bit of a greater ease. Normally, of course, you would sit 1 or even 2 of those ghouls, 2 of those 4 ghouls that you can get for the undead team, but as you can see there already, undead team is going to be putting them out, and they are going to be in danger, but at least they're not going to be facing off against any mighty blow dwarves with the tackle ability. Dwarves opting to score it there fairly quickly. Probably could have just get those bashes on and then continue to hold on to the ball, maybe. But did move out, did get into scoring range, and just thought, you know, just get it in there. I don't think this is bad. It's going to be tough for the undead teams to move it that quickly down the pitch. He does have 4 turns, so still plenty of time to do so. But with just 2 ghouls and 2 whites, this may be a nightmare. If the undead team has dreams at all, might be a nightmare to move this ball against the dwarven team. And with loads of guard on his side, look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guard there for the dwarves. It's pretty nice, I'll tell you that much. Gonna muff that catch, but that's alright. Does have mummies though that will isolate the front line at least. But there you go, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guard for the dwarves. So they, once they're able to get the line back together, then they should be able to bash back. And right there, look at that. Mummy, both down die, so just needs to get a couple of dwarves in there to help out. And of course the undead team doesn't want this mummy to get bashed, so we'll move the zombie up there and get him in a nice aggressive stance, as well as supporting this mummy right there, so that he doesn't get bashed down too easily in the next bit. Another reason why I put the zombie right there as well, so that can't, I mean, sure, the guard Longbeard will get in there maybe, but it will be a little bit more difficult to get the 2-die block coming out from any of those dwarves. So good little positioning here by the undead team. Sage not going to miss a beat, looking a little sharper than he did in the first round, where there was some questionable moves here and there, but ended up not paying for anything. A little bit unsage-like, but man, I have to say, did get away with it. Yeah, red shorts there underneath the underneath the armor there of the Longbeards. Pretty interesting. Didn't really see that before. Nice hit. Moves in there with the blitz. Yeah, okay, so the block comes out, and there we go. We'll be able to isolate the mummy after all. And there's the 2-die block. Gonna get him down. Defender down die even. So that is really good. We'll be able to take down the Mummy. But of course, Mummy's still with armor 9. Able to withstand some hits himself. But at least it's not going to be the Dwarves going to be taking the return hit. Unless the Mummy decides to blitz. And that might be another story. But as you can see here, the Dwarves not afraid to base the Undead team. That's the difference. He's saying, hey, look, guys. My team can definitely outbash your team. All you have is zombies. And he can flood the front line. Sure, you'll be able to put up the zombie line, but they'll get bashed down one by one by one. And all I need to do is watch out where these whites and these ghouls may be going. And then see where the ball carrying is. And stop that up. Oh, yes, indeed. Looks like the left side is going to be open there. All after the blitz from the whites. So the Dwarves might be a little bit out of position. Yes. And Scum does point out a good thing there. Dwarves may have overcommitted, but by how much? Ghouls should be able to come around here and get the square away on the top left at least. But how far will this Undead team go? Just a couple of more turns left. But of course, Undead team will take it. Couple of blocks coming out. Perhaps the Dwarven team may have forgotten that the Undead team will move the ball down the pitch when given the opportunity. And here we go, Undead. 3 more turns, 2 more turns left to play. And Dwarves looking quite out of position now. Uh-oh. Does still have a free troll slayer right there. Won't be able to get blitz over the top or anything. There's open space right there, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Maybe just get the touch on and then get surfed for his betterment. Or not so betterment. But we'll be able to get out front with the long beard and get some of these dwarves in the way. Need to get here and get the screen up. Make this a little bit better. Yes. Yes, indeed he will. And of course the runner gonna come out, square away this area. Gonna make things quite uncomfortable. And just gonna be able to get over there. And Mr. Light's gonna continue to hold on to the last reroll to the end. Maybe he needs it, but we'll see how this is gonna fare for him. Didn't get the opportunity to bash down that white due to the 1-die skull, but that's what happens when you do 1-die blocks. That's what happens. 1 and 6s comes out for you. And the whites might actually be viable. But just the knockdown so far. The 1 knockdown. That may not be good enough. Undead team, will they switch gears to the other side? But will they just hold on to the ball? Or will they be able to move down the pitch? Looks like though, Ghoul gonna hang back. And there you go. Gonna get the handoff to the white and perhaps go potato there by the end. And there you go, that 1-die block failing has cost the Dwarven team just a little bit. And now he's just thinking to himself, boy, why didn't I reroll that 1-die block? Because then this handoff might not have been so viable for the Undead team and able to switch to the other side and gets the 3+ on that. And now it is the Dwarves. He may have to do something crazy there. The 4+ dodge away for the 1-die blitz maybe? No, it's going to have the 2-die here. And then after that 1, 2, 3, 4. And then 1 GFI here for something. Or he actually could free him for the 1-die blitz coming out. And maybe help pin him on the sideline. I don't know if you want to do that though. But what's left here? Yeah, I think so. Gotta do the 1-die blitz. There's nothing else. 1-die blitz fails the GFI. That's why he held the reroll there. So we'll be able to reroll that and hopefully be able to get the die. Oh, the down die doesn't come out. So it's just going to be the push. And that's terrible for the Dwarven team. Oh boy, runner's going to have to come over here and help shore things up with the GFIs himself. Yes! Going to be able to get there. At least force the dodge out if anything. Troll Slayer is going to come on over. And there's the 4+ dodge I was talking about. But not going to be able to get away. Dwarves now could actually get scored on here. And this is going to be quite difficult here. Will the white just end up doing a one-die blitz through after taking this runner down? No, it's going to be the push play into the two-die block, and then, yes, we'll be able to get down the runner. Beautiful play by TheSage, seeing the push play, and the ghoul's going to come around here for the assist, for the two-die blitz through. Just needs to push and gets it. Gets him out the way, and gonna have to dodge away still though. 3+ dodge, no problemo. The white hits pay dirt. TheSage won't be denied. Man, the dwarves go into the half 1-1 where, oh boy, that one die block rolling the skull, revealing it, and oh man, the one die block haunting him a little bit. Probably should have just get the reroll out so that he can get him down, or at least push him away and make it just a little bit more difficult. But unfortunately, white definitely going to be one that they are going to have to regret for just a little bit. But at least it is going to be the Dwarven team's time to shine on defense once again. That was difficult enough the first time. Can the Undead team do it again? It is 1-1 on their offensive half though. Change of weather back to nice still. And no big deal. Oh, nice big long kick there. Boy, I love things big and long. Oh boy. And right up the gut. And here we go. So he's going to get these bashes off. Hopefully the Mighty Blow will be able to take down some of these Longbeards. And maybe be able to make these dwarves pay for the insolence stepping on the pitch against them. Undead team needs to just get it down the pitch and prove the score. And maybe I might be out a co-announcer in the semifinals and the grand finals if TheSage makes it that far. But boy, oh boy, it would be nice to see him go pretty deep in the tournament to see just how good he can get it. Again, the single elimination, you can go out. I mean, it doesn't matter how good you are. Nuffle gives you a plate full of bad dice and suddenly you have to eat it. I can always hire Jimmy. There is going to be the foul coming out, but the send-off, unfortunately, not going to be a good one. Trying to at least get these fouls off. That's why he actually went with the skeleton. So pretty much the reason why you get a 30 player, you use it. But for the Undead team, he bought that skeleton for the fouls, and he's going to have to use it there. And will that be the damning thing, though? That will put the Undead team back one on the pitch against the Dwarves. Full complement. So 11 on 10 makes the defensive job so much easier for the Dwarven team. It's actually not my choice to hire whoever, so we'll see. The surround coming out. We actually might see a foul return. Oh yes, we are. Longbeard getting into it. Oh man, it is infectious. The fouls and loads of assists, so should be able to break armor unless he rolls some terrible dice. No, it's not going to be good enough. Oh no. Not gonna be able to break the armor. And actually just only got a couple assists on that foul. But does roll the 7 and isn't good enough to break armor. Boy, that's just a little bit too bad. But no foul out or anything like that, so still gonna continue to be 11 on 10 on the pitch. Making the Undead team's time on offense is a little bit difficult, but as I've always said before, even if you're down 1 on offense, no matter what you're playing, it's not so bad. You'll be able to dictate the ball and be able to cut down on the deficit on the pitch wherever you're at. But as I've said, though, Dwarves with their stubby legs, they need to be able to cover sideline to sideline and not get outfoxed in any single way. And if they can have the numbers advantage, then that will make their job a whole lot easier to contain the offense. Yeah, nice dice there, but no armor breaks as expected. Dwarf armor holding up in this game, and Mr. Light's gotta be feeling good about that, but not too good about the score at the moment, where it is 1-1. Undead team with a slight advantage. There's the Dwarves moving in. Again, they're not afraid to get into a scrum, but to how much detriment? As we have seen before, TheSage pulling out the stops, not afraid to get the handoffs to the middle of the pitch to go along the right side and get the touchdown by the end. So, will we see more? The blitz here coming out, no go, but at least he's going to get the push this time. The Dauntless, there we go. The both down die, and that's going to end the frenzy. A little bit too bad there. That would have been leading into yet another 2-die block into the frenzy, but won't be able to not only get that mummy down, but get him away from the front line, where the dwarves are continuing to stay quite based up against all these. And of course, mighty blow hits, not too fun to feel. Oh yes, the dwarves are absolutely happy to base them up, but might pay for it. Armor 8 might go down to the mighty blow, and does get the hit on the 12 on the injury. Nicely done. Doesn't need the mighty blow when you're rolling 12s and 11s, and the APO is going to come out straight away. 10-10 now on the pitch, and that is really good for the Undead team. As I've said, down 1, but now able to square things up. And not only that, the Dwarven coverage on defense. You lose 1, you lose 2 dwarves, and suddenly it makes guarding sideline to sideline so much more difficult. The dwarves really needs to get the bashes in, and even though the dwarf armor didn't really get broke so often here, just that foul out, the Undead team also not really getting too badly broken themselves. No real KOs, no big injuries coming out. So the Undead team able to keep their entire roster scot-free and then be able to bash back here. Not the best. Don't be assuming yet, Artemis Black. It is just turn 12 coming up for TheSage. Just shadow boxing at this point. Just holding on to the ball until the end. So this may end right here. But at this point though, oh, I would love to see overtime here. Again, TheSage just winning it by the hair of his chinny chin chin. The Khemri team doing so much work. The runner just going to continue to play safety, playing very close to the line as well, so he's going to be in range if anything happens. But for right now, I think Undead, they're not going to move the ball as of yet. And of course, the Dwarven team, they kind of know this in a way. They know that TheSage doesn't want to move the ball right away, but just waiting for the opportunity here, just waiting for these bashes to come through for him. But thus far, it's the Undead team able to get these bash backs, get these pushaways as well with these push combos just here and there, and the Dwarven team continually have to just kind of waste their moves just to get into range for the bashes. And once you get into basing range, then it's the Undead team that might be able to bash back. And there you go, a bunch of dwarves yet again on their backs. But of course, Armor 9 doing their thing, gonna hold on strong. But once they pick themselves back up, sure, the dwarves gonna base them up again, but to whose benefit? Right now, I feel like the Undead team is out bashing the dwarves, but no real injuries to speak of, except for that troll slayer. But luckily, the APO working out just fine for the dwarves. And yeah, it definitely feels like dwarves are just pushing for days. Absolutely, Odontocles. There we go. Gonna get the down die now, and oh boy, the follow-up just gonna be a both down, unfortunately. But not keeping the push there. Keeping them in, continuing to keep them based up here. Yeah, nice hit here. Dwarfs standing once again. Get these bashes off, but the zombies, armor 8 holding on strong as well. So, like I said before, Undead team, their armor holding up just as well as the armor 9 thus far. And I don't even think we've seen a regeneration try yet. Yeah, unlike the first round, you're right about that. Keeping those ghouls out of danger, but of course a little bit easier, I think. Ooh, the re-roll on the GFI, picking himself up, trying to get the blitz, and gonna spend the re-roll there. Just 2 left here, so it does go into overtime. Penalty kicks like it did against the Kedri team. He might be in a little bit more trouble, but no problem. Gonna get the reroll there, get the 2 die, take him down, and not only that, move away here. I think what it is that TheSage may have just thought about this a little bit. Probably had forgotten. I mean, obviously he'd forgotten that the ghouls are kind of the weakest point for the Undead team, and Khemri team just always just trying to bash down these ghouls every single time he could do it. And what a great game plan coming out from the Khemri team. Almost taking the win there off of a pretty good coach. And, I mean, it's just one of those things where TheSage adopted this game. Going to keep those ghouls a little bit safer. But now with these turns, scrolling down, now he is going to be putting the ghouls out to dry at the moment. So we're likely to maybe see a blitz on one of these ghouls pretty soon. Oh, yes. Oh man, maybe it's not even going to be a blitz. Might actually be a normal. Well, actually, it's going to be a blitz here. Yes, it will be. And the 2 die. Oh, just a push there. But the reroll! Whoa, so aggressive. But this time, more pushes there. Even Mr. Light says, hey, look, Mr. Sage, I see what your weakness is. And trying to get down one of those dangerous ghouls. Oh, boy. Almost. But almost isn't is. The Undead team, turn 14 here. Will it end in regulation? Or will it be some more? Ooh, Nuffle coming out this time, and will need to use the reroll there. So earlier, TheSage getting a little bit Nuffled there on the GFI roll, on the blitz with the mummy. Will get the 2 skulls there on the 2 die block. And gonna have to use the reroll there as well. So just 1 more reroll left for the last 3 rounds. Not especially a good place to be if you're the Undead team. If he needs to do those handoffs like he did in the last bit, and maybe get a little bit lucky and get it around the corner, then he won't have it. But we'll see if he needs it or not. Longbeards are continuing to get bashed down by the zombies. Good dice. Does it dodge away on the 3+? Yes, indeed. Will be able to get away. And not only that, gonna get the screen off here on this right side so that this right side dwarf won't be able to help out once this goes around the left corner. So this really signals right there with this maneuver that, hey, I'm going left here. And not only that, but a receiver. So this does signal the left sweep here for the Undead team. But the outlet receiver, again, could be out there. Runner is just going to hold him back. Here's the blitz. Going to continue to be on the ghoul with no protection, no regeneration. Armor 7. Going to stay true. Going to stay true. Look at that. Oh boy, much to the chagrin of Mr. Light. Really wanted to get that armor break. And not only that, the injury coming out. But turn 15. 2 more turns left. Where is TheSage going to go with this? It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy to find it. Blitzer moves out. He's going to play a little safety. Going to go out there. And the left side looks like it's going to be screened away by 1 zombie. Likely the other zombie going to move around as well for another screen off, as the backfield will move around and try to get up the pitch quick as you can. There's the blitz in. Not going to be able to take him down, but the push away will be able to grant the 2 die block. Oh, the zombie! Yes, finally the armor is going to break. And this time it's going to be on the left side. And that's the way that the Undead team is going to sweep. And that's great. The Sage has definitely got to be feeling confident after that one. Now the left sweep. The opening is absolutely there. These dwarves are going to be a little bit out of the contest. Don't even worry about what these guys are doing. Maybe the runner might be able to go over there to maybe get an assist, but at this time, nada. Here's the Undead team. Moving out. Dwarves really need to stop this up. Again, we may see the screen coming out here, as you did in the end of the first half. But as we've seen, Undead able to kind of switch sides there and still continue to make the touchdown. There you go. There is going to be the screen. There's the blitz away on the one die, just to try to get his Longbeard to this position right here. So the screen is good. So there we go. Oh boy, and actually ends it there. Wow. And I guess I can't blame him here, but perhaps the one die block coming out would have been okay here. Oh wow. That screen is not necessarily, when you think about it, not as good as it should be. Because 7 movement allowance means that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. He will be in range. Or will he? Oh, the push combination coming out. Oh no! Mr. Light missed it! But not the Sage! Not the Sage! Oh, and Mr. Light should have probably at least dodged away the middle. And that's the first half coming back to haunt Mr. Light right there. I think in the past he would have maybe dodged away from the 4+ to get a little bit of a better screen so that stuff doesn't happen. But the Sage finding it. Oh boy. Playing quite conservative, but I mean, Mr. Light, I can't blame him there. That again, like I've always said, Blood Bowl. Okay, yes, there's a lot of skill in this game here, and of course, a lot of the skill players always continues to make it back consistently into the Champions Cup. But when all things are equal, and skill is equal, the team's about equal, it all comes down to a couple of factors. One is Nuffle and luck, right? But another thing is psychology. That's the one thing that they don't teach you in Blood Bowl school, right? I mean, it's one of those things where in the first half, Mr. Light got burned with the handoff to the center, and he just thought, oh crap, I'm not going to let that happen again, and I'm going to leave my dwarves in the front line so that it guards against that. I've got all of his guys marked up. What could go wrong? But in the end, he should have at least dodged away the Longbeards in the center. Those guys aren't going to be making away with the ball anytime soon, and should have at least put a better screen up. It is 7 movement allowance, as I've said. Ghoul could have went around the right side, but the push combo is there, able to get the guys here for the push combo, and after that open things wide open. Nicely done. Wow. Oh boy. Wow, quick snap there, no riot, and that is pretty much GG for the Dwarven team. He can pretty much end it. Yes, he does. Mr. Light gets outfoxed by the Sage. And that's definitely something that the Sage, boy, first round, didn't really see much of that mental here, but this time around was able to outfox his opponent. The screen was up, bit conservative there by Mr. Light by the end, but of course, how could you blame him? Getting a little bit burned by the end of the first half, didn't want it to happen again, wanting to just mark everybody up just in case. But yes, indeed. Well, Mr. Light playing it fairly conservative. Unfortunately, Sometimes sometimes you play it strong and solid and that wins you the day. But right there, probably should have just dodged away there and get himself in better position to not only prevent that screen, but also get his guys to where it touches the other ghoul. I mean, the other ghoul was the scoring threat, as well as that screen that was not as strong as he thought it was going to be. Well, unfortunately, Tree Punch, I don't think there's another game out. But let me just change to the brackets real quick as we take a look. No spoilers here. But let's go ahead and put down the score where Mr. Light, oh boy, just falters by the end. One of my favorites to go pretty deep into the tournament. But it is going to be TheSage. Moving on into the money, $250, and he will move in there. Look at that, the Undead bracket here. And Undead versus Undead. And who will be the better Undead? We'll see between Silsei and TheSage. That is pretty good stuff here. Let's go ahead and validate these matches. And I don't think there's another game. I've already spoiled the score for the other one. Nope, I'm sorry. That's it. That is it, Tree Punch. No more. You're gonna have to go to sleep, man. I'm going to send you away with a next time. We'll see some more action. Unfortunately, Friday night I'm playing December of Pandemic 2 Legacy, so I won't be around. I'll be finishing up my game. And then Saturday I will be doing some Shadowrun with some friends, so I'll actually be DMing it. So we're gonna roll up some characters, and unfortunately I won't be able to do that. So Sunday I'll be back, and I'll be doing a lot of World Cup matches then. So catch me for all of that action. Oh boy, I may do one a little bit later on that night on Friday if it ends early on December, because right, we could just win it or lose it. So I'll definitely have to wait and see. So maybe later on tonight, that night, like 10 o'clock ish for me. Right now it's 9:30 for me, so maybe around 10:30. We'll see. I might actually be able to do some late night Blood Bowl action, or early morning depending on where you're at. Well, hey, you know what, guys? It's been so much fun. Of course, Tree Punch, Crystal Hunter, Scum, always a pleasure to see you. Artemis Black, always a pleasure. Thank you for keeping the chat oh so lively. Adontocles, always a pleasure as well. So, thank you guys for coming out to join me for all of the Blood Bowl 2 Action World Cup here on this channel. Champions Cup 16 is actually going to be starting real soon, but I don't think I'll be doing the coverage there for it until World Cup ends. So championship match perhaps, maybe even the semifinals, but we'll definitely have to wait and see. So until then, guys, this is the VG Pierce. Of course, if you like what you see here, hit that follow button, and if you're watching after the fact, subscribe and like my videos, and hopefully I'll see you guys for some more Blood Bowl action. I'll see you guys later.